What if you wanted to store 100 fruits in your program? Would you make 100 variables? Of course not. That's why Python gives us lists, tuples, and dictionaries, powerful data containers that make coding super efficient. So let's start our video with lists. So let's start our video from lists. A list in Python is an ordered collection that can hold multiple values. You can change it anytime, add, remove, or update items. Think of a shopping list. You can add milk, remove bread, or change rice to pasta. That is exactly how Python lists work, flexible and editable. So let's start our video from creating a simple list of fruit where we will add multiple values into it: apple, cherry, and banana. We have stored 3 values into our list called fruits: apple, cherry, and banana. Now let's print and check what we will get after printing our list. So let's print it out, and we can see we have got a list in our output: apple, cherry, and banana. Now what if you want to add another item into your list? For example, if I want to add grapes into my fruits list, let's add into it fruits. We can call .append method onto our list to add another item into our list. Let's add grapes. Now let's print it out and check what we will get after adding another item. So we have added another item. Let's run the code. Now you can see before adding an item we had apple, cherry, and banana, and after adding we have apple, cherry, banana, and grapes. We have added another item into our list. Now let's see how you can retrieve a particular value from your list. For example, if I want to get output of cherry only, you can do it by specifying the index of our item. For example, if I want to print the value cherry, then the index would be 0, 1, because in programming the counting starts from 0, because we basically the indexing starts from 0. So apple has 0 index, cherry has 1, and banana has 2. So if we print fruits and put 1 in indexing, and we will get the cherry in it. Let's comment out the previous outputs, and let's see what we get after printing the specific value. So if I run this program once again, so here you can see I have got only cherry value. And let's see if I want to retrieve the banana value from the list, then I can specify its index, that is 2. Let's put the 2 and run the code again. And sorry, if I run the code again, now I can see I have got the value of banana. So let me clear the output. Now let's see how you can remove a specific item from the list. We can take an example of our shopping list. If we want to remove bread from our list, so in this programming context, if I want to remove cherry from my list, so what I can do is fruits dot remove. I can call remove function to remove a specific value, and then you have to mention you have to write the specific value that you want to remove. For example, if I want to remove cherry from my list, and then if I print the fruits list again, and let's print the value 2 times, before removing and after removing. If I call before removing, I can see if I call the function program once again, you can see before removing item we had apple, cherry, banana, and grapes, and once I removed an item from cherry, then I have got only apple, banana, and grapes. So let's learn some other basic functions as well. For example, if I want to count the total items in my list, what I can do is first of all let me comment out these values so we can get a final print. You can do you can call length function or your list to get the count of your list. So what we can do is to store the total count in another variable called count is equal to length, and then you have to put your list in parentheses, and then you will get the count of your total items in your list. Let's clear the output and run the code. Here we can see we got 3 because we have three items in our list, 1, 2 and 3, because the third one, cherry, was removed and the grapes were added, was added, and that's why we have the 3 out count in our list. For let me print out the list before counting as well, so you can verify it's correct. So if I run again, here I can see I have 3 items in my list and I have got the 3 result. So we have other different methods for our list as well. For example, you can create a copy of your list and so on. You can learn yourself from Python, learnpython.org website as well. Now let's move on to the tuples. So what they are. Basically, a tuple in Python is also an ordered list, but it cannot be changed after you create it. It is fixed and read only. Once you have defined the tuple in your Python, you cannot alter it. Think of your date of birth. Once it is set, you cannot change it. Tuples works the same way. The data inside them stays locked. So basically, tuples are immutable, lists are mutable. This is the basic difference between tuples and lists. So let's create a simple tuples of dimensions of something. And let's store. There is another difference in context of programming. For creating lists in our Python, we use square brackets, but in tuples we use simple parentheses. For example, this one, and then I can store multiple values into it, and this. If I print dimensions, I get similar output to the list, but the difference is you cannot alter the values once they are stored. So let's run the code. Here you can see the output 192, 130 and 20. And you can also call the same functions for counting the total items in your tuple. For example, if I count is equal to length dimensions and print out the count, then I will get the same output of around 3 values. Here you can see the 3. Now let's move on to the third one, and that is dictionary. A dictionary in Python stores data as key value pairs. You can look up a value using its key, just like finding a word's meaning in a dictionary. Think of your phone's contact list. The name is the key and the phone number is the value. That is exactly how dictionaries organize information. So let's create a simple dictionary in our Python code that we will call contacts, and we will store values into it. And for defining a dictionary in Python, you will use curly braces, and let's define some multiple numbers into it. For example, I will say Haseeb. If I want to store the contact number of Haseeb, what I can do is create a key and then use colons, and then I can write his number. Suppose we have his number 1 2 3 4 5, and then we separate another key. We can go to the next line as well. That's totally fine. And then we will use comma to define another key. So let's define another name called Adil, and we will store a value called 4 5 6 7 8, and then we can add as many numbers as we want. Basically, Haseeb is our key, and the 1 2 3 4 5 is the value. You can store any type of value into it. Okay, so let's add another name, David, and then store the value 8765. And here we have created a simple dictionary. We can print up complete dictionary as well in our Python. For example, I can say print contacts, and let's run the code. Before doing that, let's print out above statements and run the code. Here we can see our dictionary has been printed with key and value. And now let's see how we can get the value of Haseeb. For doing that, it's basically similar to the tuples and similar to the lists, where we can specify the index, but the difference is, instead of indexing, we have keys in our dictionaries. Let's write context, and then we can specify the key, that is Haseeb in our case. Now let's print and call our function once again. Here we can see I have got the value 1 2 3 4 5 that was stored on the behalf of Haseeb. Now let's print the value of David. Print contacts and then David. Now let's go run the program, and when we can see 1 2 3 4 5 and 8 7 6 5, we have got the value. Now what if I want to store another contact in my contacts list? Basically I want to add another key value pair in our in our dictionary. Let's store another value. We can do like this: contacts, and then specify the key name. That would be now Michael, and we will store we will put equal assignment operator, and then store the value into it. For example, I can say 7654 4, and then if I print the contacts dictionary once again, then I can see the output here: Haseeb, Adil, David and Michael. We have got totally 4 values and keys in our dictionary. Now what if you want to update the value of an existing key? Let's take an example of David. If I want to update the value of David in our dictionary, what I can do is similar to defining another key. We can say context and then square brackets, and then I can put the value key of David, and then I will say 000. If I save this and print the dictionary once again, then I can see the output where before updating the value of David, we had the value of David 8765, but after updating we have got the value David 0. So we have defined 000. I have got 0 because basically how many zeros you put, it's basically equal to 0. That's why it's saying 0. So let's change it to another 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 6, and then let's print it out once again. Now I can see the value. Before updating it was 8765, and after updating it is 1 2 4 5 6 7 6. Now what if I want to remove a key value pair from my list dictionary? So what I will do is simply write delete, basically del, or you can say delete, abbreviation is delete, and I will write delete and then context, then specify the key, and then let's delete Haseeb from the list, and then print the context dictionary once again. Then let's have a look at our output. Let's clear the outputs and run the program once again. Here we can see before deleting the key value pair from our dictionary, we had Haseeb in our list, but after deleting we can see the Haseeb has been removed from our dictionary. So this is how basically a dictionary works in Python. Let's quickly recap what we have learned today. Lists are ordered and changeable collections, just like a shopping list where you can add and remove and update items. Tuples are ordered but unchangeable, like your date of birth. Once it's set, it cannot be changed. Dictionaries store data as key value pairs, like a phone book where a name points to a phone number. So now you have know how to use lists, tuples, dictionaries in Python. These are the building blocks you will use in almost every project, whatever it's storing data for game, building an app, training a machine learning model, or whatever you want. Remember, practice is only the way to master them. Type these examples out yourself, experiment, and you will see how easy they really are. As always, remember, every expert was once a beginner. The only difference is they never stop learning. So thank you for watching your video and keep practicing. Goodbye.